Hello, hello, hello. My name is Angela Odom, and I am so excited to come to you again. Today, we are talking about four things to do when participating in someone's important event. Four things for you to do when you participate, when you show up for someone else's important event, like you're on the program. So, what things you could should consider. So, I am the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast, the founder of the Better You Project brand. I teach women how to lead themselves and others and how to manage processes. I am also excited about this topic today because um, over the last, my entire life really, but just recently I started to think about, um, things for me to do when showing up to participate in someone else's event, right? Like it's not my event, it is someone else's event. So I want to just share with you the things that I have considered. Good morning, FJ, on your big road trip with the two X's. That's so cute. I thought y'all were driving to the moon. Every day was going, going, and going. So today we are talking about things to consider, four things to consider. So, what does that mean, right? Like, you don't have to do it, but I'm going to share with you my own experience, and perhaps you'll find some value in my proven considerations, my techniques, things that I do so that the other person is successful. See, we all can win. That's the point. We all can win. So, whether we're talking about someone's promotion ceremony, their weddings, their funerals, workshops, book festivals, high school and college graduations, or other, type of ceremonies. It could be their family reunion. It could be anything where you are not the center of attention, where you may have been paid to be there, or you may have been asked to, show up for free, right? It's either one, either way. What do you want to do? How do you want to show up? How do you want to support these people, this event, this organization, this person that could be your friend, family member, could be your mentee, mentor, whatever it is, whomever it is. All of those things we'll take in consideration here today. But this is what I want you to do ahead of time. Go ahead and get something to write with. It might be your phone. You might pull up the notes app and then share this as you're watching it. So we're on Facebook, Angela M. Odom. Also, we're on the Better You Project's Facebook page, and we're streaming live on YouTube. And so this recording will definitely be uploaded to my podcast. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing live recordings. You have evidence-based practices. What the PhD is telling me? You have evidence-based practices. Your advice is always welcome. Folks are better for hearing your advice. All righty now, let's tell the truth when the truth should be told. That's what's up. So recently, just over the last, like 3 or 4 months, one of my really someone that I really admired passed away, and I was asked. She had her everything planned out, had everything written out, how she wanted her funeral to go, and how she wanted, other things to go, and she named me, right? Asked me to show up and share some words. She's already passed away. Asked me to show up and share some words, right? Um, During her, what would be my memorial. And, needless to say, I was floored, overwhelmed, overly emotional. And then at the last part of that, I was grateful, right? That I was even asked. And then I was just this past week, I flew up. I would live in Georgia. I flew to Kentucky to participate in one of my mentees' promotion ceremony. So I served in the Army for 27 years and, moved every 1 to 3 years. And what that means for people who have not served means you meet a lot of different people. right? You work with lots of different people. And over time, you develop relationships or connections with those people. So anyway, uh, this gentleman, this military officer, asked me to render the oath of office. You've seen the people stand up there with the right hand, repeat after me, and they are reaffirming their oath and allegiance to our Constitution, recognizing the importance of their role, as they're being promoted or whatever that might be. So, some of the things I want you to consider when you're invited to participate in someone else's important event. Um, the first thing is to consider the host. So the first thing you should do is understand the host, whomever's asking you, their vision, their intent, their reputation, their character, so that you determine whether you're going to say yes or no, up front, and don't be coy about it. Maybe I will. I don't know about. No, uh, yes, just like that, right? Yes, and understand if it is a paid event, then you want to make sure that you get all of the um, financial things taken care of, and that's separate from just understanding everything, right? So you might be invited, like I've been invited to. I think I went up to Michigan in we're already in July, so I went up to Michigan in June, and that was a paid event, right? They flew me up there, which paid for the flight, the hotel, food, and of course, you call it honorarium or whatever you might want to do. I also sold some books there. So sometimes, you want to um, make sure that even if you're not getting paid, that there is some sort of investment, because the only thing we really have is our time and our reputation, right? So the first thing is the host, their vision, their intent for the overall program itself, the reputation of the people who are inviting you, right? And making sure that you want to be affiliated or associated with this event, with these people, with this organization. You understand where you're going, right? And and all of that. So that's the first thing is the host. The very first thing is the host, and then you are considering number two would be time. What time does the program start? How much time is your portion of the event? It's You're not the center um, of the universe for these people, for this organization, for this program. So, how much of the entire event, how much time are you on the program, right? Now, when I went to Michigan, I was the main event, right? It was a veterans speaker series, and I was the speaker. So, yeah, the bulk of the time was mine. But guess what? I had to consider that the director of the museum. I went up to a museum, a submarine museum. So she did the opening and she closed it out, right? So consider those things. And then, how early should you arrive and when should you depart? So think about that. You've been to events, like I was just last week, not yeah, last week I was at an event and it was a panel of people. In one of there had seven people on the stage, and one of the people speaking kept becking, asking, requesting someone to come over and talk to her, one of the organizers. And so we're in the audience and we can see it, and she kept leaning back and she had something to say and all this. I was like, whoa, she is totally out of order, right? It was distracting. And then she left early, and I was like, no, don't do that. Just like in the list of what not to do, right? So time. So you want to make sure that you're not being a distraction of the overall program. And perhaps that may have been her strategy. I don't know, to get attention, to appear to be so important. When in the big scheme of things for me, she looked small, to be quite honest, right? And so you're looking at the host and then time, and you want to give yourself time to calm down, to have your mind set properly for the event. You want to make sure that if you are, have a speaking role, or you have a standing role, or you have somewhere where you are going to be seen, as part of this group that you actually have time. You've set enough time so that you have rehearsed, right? You want to. So for me, when I flew up to um, Kentucky, I was there early enough to make sure I knew how, because it was on a military installation, make sure I had time to get through the gate, time to get there properly, time to get there and make sure that my dress was all fine and fit, right? I was cute. You hear me? And so making sure that you have included all of those things that will occur into the timeline. I also sold some books. I signed some books where people brought the books they'd already purchased from Amazon. They bought those. They brought those, and I signed those. And then people actually, I packed some books, brought them with me. So let me just back up for a minute. I just published my first children's book, Gollum's Magical Gamers, and so it's on Amazon right now, and gollumsmagicalgamers.com. You can go there and find out more information. Anyway, I took that with me, and I also published Bronco Strong a few years ago. So now let's come on back. So number one is the host. Number two is time. And what we're talking about is 4 things to do when participating in someone else's important event. And I put important event. It's someone else's event, so we know it would be important, right? It might not be critical or urgent, to their life or livelihood, but guess what? It's their event, so you want to make sure that you are in order. And so before we go on, I want to just acknowledge, how you doing? Queen, I love that. Kimmy, how you doing? And Carrie from northern Minnesota, I am always welcoming you to our show, to our podcast. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. So number 2, we're talking about things that you should do, right? Or consider when you are simply one act in the entire show, right? Don't go there with, an expectation that people are going to fall at your feet, right? Go there and be prepared. So you want to understand why you were selected to participate. Why were you selected to play a role, right? Why did they choose you? So for me, I'm pretty clear on why I'm selected or asked or requested or paid or hired to participate in events. It is because I am dependable. That's one, right? I'm dependable. And then as far as whatever the reason I am participating, like AARP Georgia, I'm on their Veterans Advisory Board. And with what comes with that is participating in events. What I did, moderating a teleconference with thousands of people on the phone. And so I know that that's what it is. It's consistency. It is showing up. It is being dependable. And by the way, being a professional, respectful. And I think it's, I'm nice. I'm a nice lady, by the way. That's the other part. I'm a nice lady, and professional and competent, all those things. And so that is what you need to understand. Why did they select you? And then whatever it is, you show up like a boss. Right? Don't go there with a bunch of foolishness. Don't do that. And then number 4 is professionalism. So we talked about the host, time, why did they select you? And then you're going to play that role like you on a Broadway, stage play. You doing your role, know your lines, everything, right? And then the last one, number 4, would be professionalism. Professionalism. You want to coordinate any presentation details ahead of time. If you had need of a microphone and you needed that, if you had to use some sort of slide presentation, and ahead of time you would do that. And if there was a need for you to, like for me, it was a military installation, this last event. So of course I am a retired U.S. Army colonel, so I have my blue ID card to get in the gate. And I also know how long sometimes the line is backed up. So you want to coordinate those types of things ahead of time. Oh, by the way, you want to rehearse. You want to rehearse whatever it is. If it's a speech, or facilitation. You want to do your own research about the organization, about the event, about the people. Yeah, do that. Take time to rehearse and know what you're talking about. Or if your role is simply to sit there and look cute, sit there and smile, then you better make sure your teeth fall straight. All those things, right? And you want to take care of transportation, lodging, meals, um, and you want to take care of anything that could serve as a distraction. Because for this hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is, then you want to be present on um, the situation at hand. That's what you want to do. So those are four things to do when participating in someone else's event, someone else's important event. And with that, I wonder if there's some other things that's come to mind for you that you would want to include in this list. So for me, there is a host of things, other things to consider, but these four um, you want to make sure that you keep in mind. Hey, Mo. And so you want to make sure that you are, as my mother used to say to me, we would go to events, other people's events. She and I would be together. She would say, that person's out of order. Or, that is not consistent with the rules, whatever it is, right? So you want to make sure that you are conducting yourself so that the church ladies are going to say that that is in order, right? That you are acting in accordance with decency and kindness. I always think you should be kind also, right? And don't get it confused. I am kind and still confident and assertive. I understand boundaries also. Kindness, uh, I believe it rules the day, right? I believe kindness rules the day. With that said, I wanted to make sure that I shared this message with you because I believe that sometimes we are asked to participate, to do things that's already in our head, on our mouth, on our lips, and our heart to do. And the reason we are not saying yes is because of fear, because we don't know what to expect, or, I'm not doing that, or I'm not going over there, or wait a minute, you want me to do it on Zoom? This is a virtual event. I don't know how to use that. So take some time to learn, right? And so if you're for me, the other thing to consider, all these things, talk about time and understanding what's going on with them, being professional. So we step all the way back. And so I'm a mom, so I have to make sure that my family's everything is taken care of. I got two puppies, two teacup chihuahuas, to make sure that puppies are taken care of. So those are the things that might be distractions for this particular event. So what do I do ahead of time for that? Let's just back up. What do you do ahead of time for that? Is one is I definitely have a resilient, independent kid, a teenager, right? Most of the time, his schedule is different from mine, and he's very comfortable with that, and I am too. And as far as the puppies, guess what? Um, you got to get somebody to take care of them cute little puppies. For other things, for your calendar. So I looked at my calendar to be able to say yes, and being able to fly up there, being able to have my finances in order, so that I wasn't so concerned about the cost, because it was an investment for me in connections and people. It was the opportunity to see people I hadn't seen in a long time. So just think about what you might do and things that might cause you stress, cause a reason for you not to do something that you want to do, right? Oh, by the way, make sure that if you work for someone else, which I do not, right? But blessed and grateful for that, that you are trusted, that you have trained the people on your team to handle your responsibilities, or you have a relationship with them where they can handle your things if need be, so that you're not there. You don't have to be there. So think about that. All right. So this is a really, cut and dry kind of thing. you want to be able to participate in other people's events for whatever reason, whether there is a paid event, whether you're being hired, whether it's free, whether you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, all those things. Bottom line is get yourself in a position so that you're asked, right? Ooh, that was deep. I know it. I know it. I want to say that again. Put yourself in a position so that you are asked. That's the very first thing, to participate in somebody else's important event. Get yourself in a position. Position yourself. The first thing is to be trusted, be consistent, all those things. And then you have something of value to present when you show up, right? They don't have to worry about what you might do or what you might say, those types of things. All right. So a very, Mo says very deep. Yeah, it's true. Put yourself in a position to be asked to participate, right? Put yourself in a position. Once you accept, fully commit yourself with their whole self. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Exactly. Once you commit, you're all in, and you show up like a boss. So my name's Angela Odom, and I am the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast, the founder of the Better You Project brand. I teach women how to lead themselves and others and how to manage processes. And I am the author of Gollum's Magical Gamers. And I'm just tickled beyond tickle. You hear me about the reaction from the book. And so it's available on Amazon right now in the ebook, the paperback, audiobook. And I have someone working right now on the animated video format for this, because we want teachers, we want educators, librarians, we want after school coordinators, we want parents to read to and with children, have it available. The whole concept of the book is teamwork and communication. And we want more of that, because the concept here is children that are isolated or separated from people they love and like, right? People they want to be with. And they have to work through teamwork, communication, work through some challenges together. And that's a good thing. So go to gollumsmagicalgamers.com and you can order the book right there, or just go to Amazon. My name is Angela M. Odom, and put that in the other, both of the books will come up in addition to the podcast on Amazon. With that said, amazing. Yet another great episode of the Better You Leadership Podcast. This is the live recording. My name is Angela Odom, and as always, I'm rooting for you. Take care.